So this train is our new commuter train. We're working on the design at the moment. The intention is that towards the end of 2015 we actually start manufacturing the train. The interior has been fully designed from scratch using UK designers, and we've taken a completely blank sheet of paper and started again with our design and used the views from passengers and train operating companies to make sure that what we've got is actually going to be suitable for the future. The technical part of the train, so the traction and the bogie and the running gear, is new, but uses some of its influence from the Intercity Express train, which has already started to be constructed and will start running next year in 2015. And so because we have some commonality, we have a lot of experience already with this new design, and also we have the ability to use components on both types of train. We always try to make our trains lighter, so this train is certainly lighter than its predecessors, and in addition to that we're looking at using a battery hybrid version of the train. We have a train running in Japan right now that does this, so basically it runs on overhead power, taking the power from the network, but when there's no overhead lines it can actually switch to batteries and run at 30 kilometres on that as well.
The UK is leading the way in terms of train safety, in terms of legislation. There is a piece of legislation called GMRT 2100 issue 5, which is the safety compliance of the seats, and it means that we have to sled test these seats to demonstrate compliance. We have to demonstrate compliance of the integrity of the seat, so the occupant, when facing backwards, has to be able to be retained in place, and then when facing forward and impacting the rear of the seat in front, the occupant has to be able to self-evacuate, has to be able to get out of their seat and walk out of the train with a 6G deceleration. We had to engineer the seats using lots of computer-aided engineering, lots of crash analysis. So we ran something like 200 injury runs, which enabled us to get the performance correct, so that when we came to physically test the seats in Mara in June, they passed the UK legislation test first time.
The vision was to develop interactivity with people's smartphones. Increasingly now everybody has a smartphone, and ticketing is becoming ever more electronic. It's quite common now, isn't it, to get your airline ticket or any other type of ticket as an email or an attachment. So what we wanted to do was to start to help or create a system for the train operator to maximise the use of the smartphone. And the idea is that when you buy a ticket, your ticket comes electronically, the ticket comes with an app. The app is automatically downloaded to your phone, so that then when you enter the train, you can find your seat using your phone. And the link is between the app and the QR code that's on every seat. Also, the app will give you other information about that seat. So for example, it will tell you when that seat's next reserved. So you will know that you need to move away from that seat, because it might be that you got onto a train without a reservation, so you just book yourself into a seat for a period of time. But after a period of time, the system will then tell you through your phone that that seat will be reserved a few stops hence, and so you will have to leave that seat. We have some upgrades for this, which will be to do with luggage and luggage security. Luggage security is very important to passengers on trains, and the risk of theft. People are very often very wary of leaving their bag near the doorway or things like that because of those risks. So we're looking at using, again, an app linked to some kind of a smart tag, which the passenger would put onto their bag, and then they would get some kind of alert if their bag were to move. So the alert would be, the alarm on your phone going off and warning you that somebody's moving your bag.